Thank you so much, Mary. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are located. My name is Tangma Kpante, and it is a pleasure to share my story with you today. Actually, a story of my stories with you today. So today I want to talk about, it's interesting because I wanted to talk about failure. And the past speaker just spoke about failure. But I'll still talk about failure because I want to share 3 things I've learned from failure. You see, can you all hear me, right? Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can hear you.
Okay. So it's very easy to just bounce back from a mistake, from a failure, when you know, like deep down within yourself, that you did not give us your best to that project, that relationship, or that business. But when you know that you've given it all your best, but it still failed, it still did not work out, it's very difficult to just have that courage and bounce back. But today I want to tell someone that it doesn't matter how many times you tried. Let's one like to say that it's not over until you win. So just go back there and try again. You will surely make it. It is possible, as the theme of this conference. When I was in my second year of high school, it was so amazing. I was 16, 17 years old, and that year I was very determined to make it, to really succeed. And I did make it. I was even part of the best students in the class. And in Togo, in your second year of high school, it doesn't matter how good you did in class, you have to sit for a final exam. And depending on the result of that final exam, you pass or you repeat the class. And the final exam came, and I sat for the final exam very confidently. I was very confident that I would make it. I'll go to the 3rd year. But the result came, I went and checked, my name was not on the list. I checked the second time, my name was not on the list. Is it down there? I checked the 3rd time. It wasn't there. It was heartbroken. Like I didn't make it to the 3rd year. It was so painful. So I understand when you've given it your best and it still doesn't work out, how painful it can be. But Napoleon Hill says something in Think and Grow Big. He said, failure just enjoyed tripping one up when success is almost at reach. It means when your success is just around the corner, then failure will come, just to make sure that you give up. But today, we want to tell failure that we are not giving up. We will go back there and give out our best once again. Especially with COVID-19, some people have built their businesses, and at the moment that it was about to take off, that's when COVID-19 came to destroy everything. But we will go back there and rebuild our businesses or anything we were building before COVID-19, and we will come back out of this pandemic stronger than before. So I cried for 2 weeks in my room. I could barely eat. I didn't want to go out. And I decided I started finding ways so I could not repeat the class, because I had no intention of repeating that class that year. And as I was looking for ways, my father said something that will change my life forever. He said, my daughter, failure is part of life, and it is time for you to learn how to overcome failure. It is time for you to learn how to overcome failure. 16, 17 years old. I usually say that this is the best sweet 16 gift that a parent could ever give a child, telling the child that failure is part of life. It is a life lesson. And I will carry this like throughout my life. And this is one of the reasons why I'm still standing today. He said that it was so difficult, but I said yes to that challenge, and the rest is history. So today I want to share 3 things that I did at that time that helped me rise up, come back. The first thing is remember your why. Your why is your foundation, your purpose. Why do you want to do what you want to do? It's very important. My why at that time was a promise I made to God in my first year when I nearly failed my exam in my first year. That time I knew I wasn't doing my best in class. So when I brought the result to my father, the second semester result, my father would look at it and he went, "You are trying your best to fail this class, aren't you?" So my father was a teacher, so you can imagine. So the following day, I was in the bathroom, and I said, "God, forgive me. I know I'm not doing my best, but please, if you can help me, if only you can help me get to the second year, I promise I will never be lazy again in my life. I will always do my best." So at that during those painful moments, I had to remember that why, that promise I made to God to always do my best and get back on my feet. So your why is your foundation. The second thing I did was to remember to find the missing piece. What am I calling the missing piece? At that time, I was during that year, in my second year, I was learning in class, learning the lesson, the courses, and everything, but I was not practicing, or not enough, practicing the exam paper, the exam questions enough. In Togo, they usually set up the question for you not to get it right, for you intentionally, for you not to get it. There are a lot of tricks. So you better spend a lot of time practicing a lot of exam papers and questions and get used to the tricks. And I was not doing that enough. So, but I had to spend time and study what went wrong before I came up with that knowledge. Failure usually carries that knowledge that may lead to success. But you need to spend time and study your failure. Really, you need to spend time and study your failures in order to come up with that knowledge and do better the next time. So when we fail, when we do the mistakes, it's very painful. Let's cry. You can cry as much as you want. You can shout as much as you want. It will relieve you. But after that period, remove that jacket of victim and put on the jacket of responsibilities and take on responsibility for your life and do that work. Study your failure and find out that missing piece, what I'm calling the missing piece, so you can do better the next time. The third thing that I did was to remember that today's mountain is only preparing you for higher mountains. It's very important that we keep in mind that today's storm, any storm today is just preparing us for a stronger storm ahead of us. I passed the exam the following year brilliantly. I went to the third year. That exam was even more difficult. As a matter of fact, I was taking the exam the same year my elder brother was taking it for the third time. But I did pass that exam only once, and brilliantly. I was even first. I came first. Because why did I do it? Why was I able to do that? Because I failed in the second year, and I studied why I failed, and I was able to apply the same knowledge in my third year. I went to college. I even received the certificate of excellence, and it went on and on. Fast forward, and most importantly, over 10 years later, at 27 years old, I was almost brilliantly like living my life. Everything was going on well. I got a well-paid job. I got my master's degree, another bachelor's degree, a well-paying job. And I went ahead and got married because I thought that was the only thing missing. The society was telling me that was the only thing missing when you are working and you are a young lady, 27 years old. When are you getting married? When are you getting married? And I went ahead and I got married. But just 6 days after the wedding, that man, I first gave my heart and my body to left to where he was based. And I will never see him again. Just 6 days after the wedding, I will never see him again. And even those 6 days we had to spend together, he physically and sexually abused me. About a year later, I heard about him, and he even started repeating the abusive word and asking for divorce. I was going through that period. At the same time, my father was battling with cancer. Going through divorce, my father was battling through cancer, and I was working 2 jobs at the same time. And I was taking exams to get a scholarship to come to the United States. Everything was going on at the same period. And I remember one of my friends asking me, how are you able to do this? How are you able to do this? How are you able to still focus on in traffic and ride your motorbike? It wasn't even a car. I didn't have a car back then. I was riding a motorbike. So how are you able to still stand on the motorbike and ride it? In all this, I couldn't give him an answer then. But today, I say it because 10 years before that, over 10 years before that, my father taught me that failure is part of life and that I needed to learn how to overcome failure. So today, my message is just simple. Anything you're going through today is just preparing you for tomorrow. So keep on, hold on to your why and find your missing piece. You'll surely make it. It is possible. Thank you so much. That's my story for today.